Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the full council meeting of Attleborough Town Council, being held this evening, Monday the 2nd of February at 7 p.m. Item 2, apologies for absence.
Councillors Taylor, T Taylor, S Taylor, J Taylor, Councillor S Fraser and Councillor Angela.
Okay. Item 3, declarations of interest and dispensations. Any takers? No? Okay, thank you. Moving on. Item number 4, public participation number 1. Any takers? Mr. Smith.
Hiya. The car parks, which I see in the back again, the heads of terms for option 2 only was made public at 11:22 a.m. today. So, with councillors' work commitments and personal lives, have you all had sufficient time to consider these, bearing in mind the late arrival? And if not, would you be considering deferring the item so that you can consider it more fully? That's the first bit. The second bit, both the heads of terms for option 2 and option 4 mention the council taking on ownership and responsibility for the costs of street lights and EV charging. Presumably you now know what these costs are, so you can make an informed decision. So please, can you share those costs with the public tonight?
Okay, we'll deal with those in those points in the debate about the car park. Anybody else?
Got another one?
Go on.
Yeah, okay. On standing orders, the changes to the public participation state that the public may make representations, answer questions and give evidence. Now, is that correct? Did you mean to put ask questions and write answer questions instead? It seems a bit strange to say that the public are going to answer questions. In the second public participation section, it also says that the public can send in questions and then at the meeting they can answer their own questions. And it just comes across as a little bit muddled.
I agree. It should say ask, I should imagine.
So should I say what?
Public participation in both of them. Members of the public may make representations, ask questions and give evidence.
The one I've got says members of the public may make representations, answer questions and give evidence at the meeting which they're entitled to attend in respect to the business on the agenda. And then members of the public may make representation, answer questions and give evidence at a meeting which they're entitled to attend in respect of questions they have previously submitted to the clerk within 3 working days notice. Certainly the one that was, maybe you've changed it since the one I downloaded at the weekend, but when I downloaded it, clearly stated that the public can answer questions rather than ask them.
Yeah, I'll change that to ask when we get to that item, or I'll propose that we do.
No, I was going to say to Andy that we had a standing orders and we have actually changed it now, so when we get to agenda item, I hope that will reassure you was the correct wording.
And if there's one tiny little bit, within those standing orders, you normally highlight them in yellow. There's another bit in yellow that's been highlighted.
Is that at the front?
Sorry?
Is that at the front?
No, it's further on back. It's on page 18, and it's related to the Code of Conduct and Dispensations. And you've highlighted it in section E on section 13, page 18. Is that an error, or is that a change that hasn't been noticed? Also, page 19.
Page 19.
Page 18, page 19. Just 2 words.
What does it say? Sorry, save me looking.
I think it was just all. But I know that you highlight them in yellow when there are changes.
I think that's an error. Yeah, I'll take that off. That's not relevant.
Okay, any more? Yes, please.
Why are you considering heads of terms for buying the car parks when you've got no intention of buying them?
Well, it's agenda item.
Yeah, happy to ask that
At the
when we get to the
Yeah,
item.
okay, yeah, we'll deal with that at the right time. Anybody else? Yes, please.
Could I just ask about events, item 10 on the agenda, events for the year ahead? I just wondered how many councillors have been involved in the planned events for the year ahead, namely the Christmas, something either on Saturday the 28th of November. I just wondered, as it says here, events for consideration and resolution, but I don't know how many councillors have actually been involved in that process.
I didn't think we was doing that this year.
Are there any councillors
Should we
here
wait till
who
agenda?
Yeah.
would like to?
Not been involved.
Any councillors, is it all right for me to ask a question?
Happy to wait to agenda items, I've got a bit to say on this
Yes,
matter.
so
Okay.
I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're
I
happy
think
to
that's going
I've
ahead
got a
this
bit to say on the agenda items, if we wait till then, then
Fine.
hopefully what I will say will then
Mhm.
answer your questions.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, please.
What time? I've got a bit more. We're only on 6 minutes past. So at a recent meeting, you discussed, I think I mentioned the outdoor cinema and the cost of 6,000, very few people attending. It was not value for money, it was related to your events. In recent times, you also put on the SEN event and the controversial Christmas event on Queen Square. Now, you publish predicted costs for the SEN event, but I've never seen predicted costs for the Christmas event. And what we also haven't seen are actual income and expenditure for either of those events. If you're in the process of planning events, it'd be useful to know what profit/loss you made on both of those events. So is it possible to have a breakdown of the income and expenditure for both the SEND event that happened in the summer and the Christmas event that happened at the end of November? I think I mentioned that about a month ago, and you said it would happen in due course. Not seen anything yet. So if you're planning events, please can you try and get those figures out in the public domain?
I think it's in the, I did get the figures from Anne. I can give them to you for the Christmas event. There was it cost £821.05 to put the event on, but there was an income of 419, so there was a deficit of £402 and 5 pence.
How does that reflect on previous years? Because as a business owner, sometimes it's a bit subjective just to look at 1 year. I know.
If it hasn't been previous years, the town has decided to hijack the event on their own.
I think it was a decision that was made by the Christmas lights.
Yeah.
That's the
Probably a bit more of a robust
Yeah,
discussion.
you're going to get to that item.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we, yeah.
Sharon, do you have the same level of income and expenditure for the SEND event in the summer?
No, I'll have to get back to you on that
Thank
one.
you, that'd be brilliant.
Okay, any more? We've got a couple of minutes left. Yes, please.
Peter Neal, good evening. We seem to have been a councillor light for some considerable time. Whereabouts are we in filling or advertising for the vacant position?
We're still waiting for the notice of election, and I was told last Thursday or Friday that it was imminent, that they'll send it through. I haven't received it yet. As soon as we receive it, it will go up.
And are you suggesting that perhaps there will be an election? Or?
Oh, there definitely is going to be, and it's going to be on the 12th
Right,
of March.
okay. And how do interested parties then apply for one of the positions?
Once the notice goes up, it will give you instructions, but I believe you can probably, I don't know, you download a form from the Brecton website, but the instructions will be on the notice. Normally, we can give you help if you want to download
Thank you
the
very
form.
much. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Could I ask how someone gets on the approved contractor list? As a contractor myself, I do look after Norfolk County Council, various estate agents, and I'm just interested to know how the process works.
We'll explain that when we get to the item, but
This is my first time, so I don't know when to talk and when not to, so bear with me.
Okay, thank you.
Just to reassure you, when we get to that agenda item, we can suspend standing orders to allow you to speak if necessary. But obviously, again, I've got a lot to say on that item as well, so we'll wait till we get to that agenda item. Hopefully, we'll be able to answer your questions.
Okay. That's it. Right, moving on then, thank you. Item 5, minutes of the last meeting held on the 5th of January and the extraordinary general meeting held on the 12th of January for acceptance and approval. Anybody got any comments? Councillor Dale.
On the councillors' reports, it said Councillor S. Taylor also attended Banham Poultry meeting. I was at that meeting and Councillor T. Taylor was there and Councillor Stephen Fraser was there. But in my recognition, Councillor S. Taylor wasn't there, neither was Tristan. Well, it says above, T. Taylor requested Banham Poultry, and she was definitely there. So was Stephen Fraser was there. But I can't recollect that Sam Taylor was there.
Yeah, I'll adjust it.
Tristan wasn't and Helen wasn't, which represent things. So,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Have a proposal for acceptance? Councillor Bircham. Councillor Dalton, second. All those in favour? That's for both meetings.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Right, moving on to item 6, calendar of meetings for the year ahead. For information and acceptance. Yeah, okay. You ready to second? Councillor Dalton, Councillor Bell. All in favour? That's what it is. Thank you. Item 7, Brecon car park proposal to consider heads of terms for car park acquisitions for consideration and resolution. Councillor Bircham.
Thank you, Chairman. It would be wholly inappropriate for this council to agree to the heads of terms when there's been no public consultation, no published business plan and no transparent assessment of financial risk. How can we all agree to the heads of terms when we have no idea what the running costs are, contracts, etc. and our commitments? The heads of terms also refer to an incorrect valuation. For example, Queen Square car park has 116 spaces and not 109. Edenside car park has 47 spaces and not 77. And Horsepit car park has 21 spaces and not 22. Agreeing to the heads of terms would constitute agreement to proceed under option 4, which we are still waiting for a response. You cannot be showing due diligence by agreeing to these heads of terms tonight, and if we do so, Attleborough Town Council will be digging a bigger hole. I therefore propose that we do defer this item.
I agree. No, just on the basis that they've only just come through, I think we can't give them due and full consideration.
Okay, I was just going to say, I've said countless times, if you dangle a carrot and say we're going to pay for something, or we'll take it for free, we're going to end up paying for it. So let's wait until we've had a decision from Brecon first, and then we can agree how to move forward.
Councillor Sousa.
Yeah. Obviously, we've only had heads of terms at 11:22 today. I've given them some consideration. Something we haven't discussed is insurance for the car park, which I think has ever been mentioned in the meetings. And my concern is we need to get some quotes to see, is it Zurich that we use? I think, yeah. I don't know how much it would cost for public liability insurance, but that's never been mentioned in a meeting, as far as I'm aware. And that would concern me if someone had an accident there or there was damage to a car or something like that. That really is important, I think.
The whole thing's important.
Okay, it should have been done prior, business plan.
Yeah.
All these things should have been sorted out.
Business plan should have been done last year. In the 6 months we had.
Fine example why we should have.
Yeah, it hasn't been done. We said this at the time, unfortunately.
We'll identify.
Can I have a proposal for deferring then, please? Councillor Bircham.
I'll second it.
Councillor Arnold, second. All those in favour?
Majority.
I'm abstaining.
Right, Councillor Dalton. Moving forwards, item 8, financial documents for consideration and resolution to authorise February payments. Any comments? Councillor Dow.
I still am querying the day rate for the, does he spend a day?
He did say to me that when he was doing the tree work for the council before, he did say that the day rate was actually, the council were okay with the day rate. And he said you were on the council when that
Yes.
decision was made. And he said ask Vera, because Vera will remember that the day rate was given.
Yeah, but I think times have changed since then. If he does half a day, does he charge us a day rate? If he does extra, does he charge, you know,
Okay, well,
it's actually...
I can ask him to do the hourly rate, but you
Yeah.
might find that that would work out more.
Well, it
You know,
might, but
we'll- yeah.
at least we know where we stand and the finances are then correct.
Okay.
Any other comments? Councillor Adams.
Just a quick one actually. I'm looking at the accounts here. I see that we've got a payment showing, obviously coming into us, of £31,180.80 for the NCC grant towards flash shelters. If that payment wasn't showing on here, we would not be showing a profit of £9,657.65. So what I'm actually saying is, as far as I can see, looking at the accounts, then we are running at a deficit balance.
We don't run at a deficit, we don't run it like a business council. So you've got your budget to go by and you stick within that budget. You don't run councils in terms of, you basically make sure that you've got best value for money, but you don't look at like, you know, and you have said that to me before, Councillor Adams, and I don't really get where you're coming from, that we're running at a deficit.
Well,
because you know, when you look at the balance sheet, when it's presented every quarter, we can't be running at a deficit.
it's not what our figures are showing us.
Well, then I've tried to explain it to you many times. Perhaps when you have your finance training, you can broach that with Sarah.
So, the figures that I'm looking at then, which are our income, our payments and our direct debits.
Yeah, they're never going to be, you don't do that on a monthly basis where we reconcile, okay? But we do not look at month by month like you would a business, because you've got different expenditure at different times of the year. You've got income that comes in monthly, 6 monthly. How can you possibly run it and say that you've got a deficit this month?
Well, how can we not?
Well, it just isn't run like that.
Well, if the money that's coming in is less than the money going out, is that not a deficit?
But the overall situation is still obviously in certain, you know, what you're saying is that we are bankrupt.
I'm not saying
We're
we're
not.
bankrupt, because obviously we've got assets, but what I am saying,
We're not
is
bankrupt, we have
that-
money in the bank,
I appreciate that.
1.2 million.
So the bank account's in credit, basically.
The bank account is in credit, so trying to say that we're running at a deficit, and we don't even if we had surplus, we don't call it profit, we call it surplus in the council.
Okay.
All right?
The second thing I would say then is I did ask for copies of the bank statements a few months ago, and I've still not seen them.
I did, yeah, you can come in and see them. If I do present them to you, they've got to be heavily redacted.
Can I just ask, because obviously when I first joined the council, we received the bank statements monthly in the meeting papers. So why did that change?
They were purple.
But we don't.
If I issue them by email, they could get out. The purple papers were designed, were they not?
Yes, they were,
So
as
that
confidential.
You see them, you get sent them,
Yeah.
and the hard copies have to be given back.
Yes.
So they're not for public consumption.
No.
You can see them,
Councillors.
but if you obviously you're breaking confidentiality if you issue them to anyone else.
I'm fully aware of confidentiality. Thank you.
Yes,
Could I make a suggestion? We used to get the purple packs in meetings as actual hard copies. Would that be an idea to maybe disseminate them once a month at the meeting for councillors, then we hand them back to you, like we used to?
Yeah, we could do that.
Oh, you can come up to the office at any time and have a look at them. I've said that many a time.
Councillor Downs.
Can I just say this is a good opportunity to remind all councillors, including myself, when we're having our financial training.
Can I just say, obviously that undermines our intelligence and confidentiality, because we did used to get them, now we don't. So why don't we get them?
No, what you mean the bank statements?
I used to receive them monthly with the meeting papers when I first joined the council,
And they were coloured purple.
and now we don't get anything. So why don't we get them?
What I'm saying is, if you get them in the meeting papers, they would be separated, so that when you get to the meeting.
Yeah. But we don't get them at all
Yeah,
now.
but we don't get anything.
Is that because our councillors aren't trusted?
There is no.
So yeah, why don't we get them? That's what Councillor Adams is.
Why did that stop?
We used to get
I
them.
have to ask Dan that.
Yeah, we used to get them. It was very informative, but now we don't get any at all. That might help Councillor Adams. I used to see bank statements.
I don't remember ever getting them.
We did used to get them as manual copies, as hard copies
Yeah.
in purple.
I do remember.
In
that.
purple.
Yeah.
There's no issue. No reason why that can't
Yeah,
start.
Yeah.
Could I make a proposal that we do?
I can recall. Yeah, I can recall that. Yeah. It probably would help Councillor Adams as well.
Would it be more practical to see them every quarter when you do the reconciliation? Because then you can see the beginning, the end.
I would personally prefer monthly,
Yeah.
because then we can cross-reference anything. That might help Councillor Adams. I don't
I
think.
prefer the monthly, to be honest.
Could I make that proposal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
All those in favour? Okay, thank you.
Still got increase.
Yeah, we're still going to approve the payments. Okay, our proposer.
No.
Councillor Dalton, seconder.
I'll second them.
Councillor D'Souza.
Yeah.
All those in favour?
I'm rejecting.
Majority, 4 abstentions.
Oh, object.
Rejections.
You mean against?
Against, yeah.
Okay.
All against?
Four against.
Yeah.
That's just purely due to persistent overspend and lack of competence and accuracy of information. Obviously, Harry Clark has been very, very helpful with sending some information regarding some FOIs I sent in. So until I'm satisfied that everything is accurate and complete, I will obviously not be complicit in financial decisions.
And you mentioned overspending. In what way? Because the council has to approve the expenditure.
Exactly.
So you're criticising your own council?
I'm criticising some business decisions that have contributed to overspending.
Yeah, and it's the council that makes the decision.
It would be a majority of the council.
Yeah. So
And that is why public have lost confidence in this council. So, as I said, let me speak. Until I am confident that the expenditure in this council is accurate and complete, I will not approve or be complicit in any financial decision making. And that's what I need to say on this matter. Thank you.
it would really be helpful if you could actually give details of the overspending.
That's what the FOI is for, Sharon.
And that's also
So
confidentiality that you just mentioned just a moment ago.
Once I'm confident in the FOI information I've received, I will happily share it because it'll be public information. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Adams.
Just going on from that, if you look at the information we receive, and incidentally, I would like to say thank you for making it so that I can read it without a magnifying glass. It is much better, but thank you very much for that. But if I take away, for example, that NCC grant towards the bus shelters, then we're showing what I would term a deficit or a loss, and you can use whatever phraseology you want, as a council, of £52,703. And that's off of figures that you've given me.
So
All I do is copy them.
again, I can't repeat it often enough.
Appreciate that.
We do not
Understand.
run in that way.
No.
Councils do not run in that way.
No.
We don't aim to make a surplus every month.
So the information we get from these income payments and direct debits are incorrect, are you saying?
No, they are not incorrect.
Right, so that they then show what I'm just saying.
They show what they are showing the financial result of the decisions that are made by the council and the bills that need to be paid,
Right.
either on a monthly basis, quarterly, annual.
I understand that.
So there are different categories, and it's timing. So for instance, if you were going to take that, take that view, you might have a month where overall, for instance, we would, I don't think in your history maybe that you've ever gone over budget, ever. Overall, and that's the thing that counts. So you look at the precept that comes in is what we spend. We obviously have reserves that you review every now and then, and at the moment, from memory, the bank balance is 1.2.
Take it on a simplistic view.
I'm not
the
disputing
month
that
that
the
the precept,
bank-
the month that the precept comes in, we make a massive profit on paper.
Of course we do. And I'm not
So what you're suggesting is the opposite.
No, but I'm not disputing the bank, sorry, I'm not disputing that the council is bankrupt. I'm not suggesting that for one iota. All I'm saying is that in this particular year, financial year, from the information I've received from the papers that I get, as I said, if it wasn't for that £31,180 that we've been given by the Norfolk County Council, we would be showing a deficit of, or whatever you want to call it. We will have spent over £52,703 over what we received in for the same period. That's not to say that we haven't got reserves and we haven't got a stockpile of money under the pillow. But as far as I can see, this year we have spent a lot of money on renovating buildings, etc. And as a result of that, as I said, we appear to have spent more than we've received since March.
I think that also what you're overlooking is that when we had to spend that money, we had to via monies out of general reserves in order to make sure that we had money in the bank to pay for the items that we needed to spend. So we reduced our general reserves down to, recently, I don't know what the exact figure is right now, but it was 539,000. When I came into the council, we had general reserves of 681,000. So when we knew, and we had members of the public were complaining that the town hall wasn't DDA compliant, so we embarked on a project to improve matters with the doors, freeways to the kitchen, looking at whether we were going to repair the lift, etc. So we really looked at town hall. When we had to take back the Bono building, that needed a lot of work because the windows, you couldn't even open them. The fire doors needed to be installed. We had to replace the windows. We had to do the flooring. The showers were falling apart. There were reasons why we had to spend that money. We didn't just frivolously spend it. If you improve a if we didn't improve the Bono building and we just left it, you would then, as a council, be criticised for neglecting your buildings. Would you not?
Yeah, I appreciate what you're saying, and I appreciate what you're saying, Sharon. All I'm saying is that, as far as I can see, that's the situation as I see it.
Yeah.
I may be completely wrong, in which case I'll stand up and apologise, but, figures speak for themselves.
Yeah.
But
But what I can't understand is when you guys are not approving the payments, for instance, because you've got concerns about overspending. I have yet to see anything from you as to what your concerns in detail actually are.
do you want me to send you the accounts you just sent me?
Well, the thing is, it's going to go on and on unless you actually give me details as to what your problems are. Surely we now need to resolve it, don't we? But I haven't seen anything. So how, you will just continue on.
No, we won't. It's coming.
Until we're satisfied that decisions are made
Yeah,
in
but
the best
you've got
interest of the public person, not. Yes.
I actually think it'd be more useful to us because we get this report come through and it's very basic. It just says, I don't know, Viking or macro. as you're expecting us to sign off, you know, £1,000 from something that we don't even know what it was spent on. So I think if it was a bit clearer, then there's VAT on some items and there's not VAT on other items.
I think
You can't expect us to put our name against those financial reports when we haven't seen a receipt for most of it. Or like we don't even know what it's for.
We don't know what we're buying.
You know, all we see is just the basic, that company and that cost.
Yeah.
I know it might come across at us for our troublemakers, but this council has run so complacent for so many years. It's taken us to come on to look into things. It's scrutinising is healthy. It's obviously picking out.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We're not troublemakers. We're fulfilling our role. And as I said, we need to gain, as a council, we need to gain the public's trust, and to do that is through scrutiny.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Scrutiny is really good and I welcome it. But we can't keep going on month by month where you are saying you need more detail. Come and sit with us in the office and we'll work something out where we could maybe improve on the information. Come by regularly, or because in a meeting, if I was to bring the invoices down for you to have a look at, that will take time. You'll get very impatient. But if you really want more information, we're going to have to sit down and see how we can present that in a better way.
Okay, I'm happy with that, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Adams, I take your point on being scrutinised and looking at things, but I do think that if the bank account is in credit, as it is every month, and has been as far as I can remember, the council isn't running at a loss. Some months, and they're going to be seasonal months, I imagine, where bills are going to be higher. Like Andy says, if you take it as a simplistic view, you get paid, your bills come out, and then at the end of the month, you have less money in your account. So some months there's going to be higher expenditure, and some months are going to be less. Heating, gas, that sort of thing costs more in the winter time than it does in the summertime. Water bills obviously can fluctuate as well. I think as long as we're satisfied that the account is in credit and isn't being abused or anything like that, and I think having the papers in hard copies is certainly going to help the situation, and our financial training obviously as well.
Yeah.
Well, again, I mean, I agree with everything you've just said, but if I haven't got the information, I don't know what's in the bank account. All I can see is the figures that I've got on here. I don't know. I mean, we could have £1 million in the bank, we could have 10 million quid in the bank. As far as, I just don't know.
But
I have no idea whatsoever.
let's take Sharon up on offer, and we can obviously arrange an appointment to go through things. Otherwise, it's going to go round and round.
Let's draw a line under that.
You happy with that?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Burcham.
Item 2, to authorise February direct debits. Any comments? Go around again.
Happy to approve those.
Councillor D'Souza proposed, Councillor Dalton to second, all those in favour?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So,
So that's again.
That, just like before, yeah.
Yeah, same again.
Just on this particular item.
4 against.
Yes.
Yeah.
Item 3, income and expenditure for January 26 for information. Any comments? No.
Well, again, what I'd say here is if we don't know what the income is, how can we agree it?
Well, this is for information, this bit.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Item 4, income for January 26 for information. Any comments? No. Item 5, petty cash for January 26 for information. No. Item 6, to approve the appointment of an internal auditor for the year-end end of year finances 25-26.
I know that we're supposed to alternate, so I've been in touch with somebody who actually audits Dereham Town Council. His name is Robin Gorham, and for the internal audit he's going to charge maximum of £175, but obviously that's if we do the mid-term audit, so the audit he'll do for £90, which is a lot cheaper. than Kerry Butcher, and we're also alternating. We're getting someone different, and he was recommended by Anthony Needham, who was a local clerk here one day, who we've met.
Have we used them before?
Not sure.
No, I think it'd be good to
before
use
you used
somebody
Pauline
who-
James, didn't you? Or you used
Yes.
somebody partial.
Be good to use somebody that we've not used
Kerry
before.
Butcher.
Also, it's completely
and it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good thing to alternate.
Let's say if we can use somebody that we've never used before,
Yeah,
then
I've
we
never
get
met
clean,
him, I don't
clean
know
sheet.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so I'll
Yeah.
just ask for your approval on that one.
Yeah.
Just approval,
Yes, yeah.
okay?
Councillor proposed, Councillor Burrows?
Can I just say something? I am voted on the, going back a little bit, to authorise the payments for direct debits and the others. My only reason for that is these people have done the work and they need paying. We do not want to have a situation where people are not paid for what they do. That's why I voted.
But they have already been paid though.
Some of
Yeah.
them.
That's everywhere.
Yeah.
They've been
We're not
paid. That's why
actually
I was
disputing the payment, we're just disputing that we haven't got enough information to go through
The
line
payments
by
are
line.
always- the payments
that
are
we
always
get
paid.
value for money,
Yeah.
and that we've had the 3 quotes, and that, kind of our way on like the approved contractor list, which is item 14.
That's February payment, surely they've been paid yet.
No,
Yes.
but they will be
That's what I
paid,
was
doesn't it?
voting for,
Yeah.
that we should pay them for the work they do in February. But
Well, we'll get those payments next month.
Yeah.
So they've already been paid.
They have already been paid. It's, yeah, if you look at the last line, it does say the date they were paid. So we're obviously voting.
I didn't look at those.
No, you're fine. That's fine. Yeah.
What
Okay.
we also want is for our creditors to actually have the confidence that we will pay them
Yes,
as well.
absolutely.
We don't want people to stop doing work for us.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, not nothing. So we need a second for that.
You have a second, Councillor Dale?
Yeah, you proposed it.
Yeah.
Don?
Yeah. All those in favour?
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay, Robin Borum.
Can you spell his name? Sorry, Robin?
Yeah, Robin, Goreham.
Right, moving on to item 9, policies, the standing orders, amendment of standing order 3E regarding public participation to ratify the discussion that was held in the meeting earlier on this evening. Have a proposer?
No, I just want to query something. Sorry. On these standards, I'm just looking for the actual thing here. Tony, the other Tony and myself were under the impression that we were asking for the public to be given open house for questioning anything in the seconds of the 10-minute slots.
That's correct.
Yes, yeah.
But in here it says that
Just that it was good.
It's been updated to some extent.
Tony, we have changed that in the standing order review.
Well,
Do you want to repeat the motion?
Essentially what we're saying is that if the public want an answer
Yeah.
on the night,
you beat me to it again.
then they need to give 3 days notice.
Okay.
If they ask the question on the night, they're more than welcome to do that. But they won't necessarily get an answer there and then, but we undertake to give wherever possible to give an answer within 3 days.
It just gives them the freedom to answer.
Absolutely, yeah. Councillor Adam.
As obviously the amendment was made at the Standing Order Review Committee meeting earlier, could Sharon just read out the proposed motion just for the benefit of members and members of the public that were not present?
Yeah. Should I put the word answer, because obviously apart from that.
Yeah, amend it.
Yeah, public participation 1, it's as it was in the papers. Members of the public may make representations, answer questions and give evidence at a meeting which they are entitled to attend in respect of the business on the agenda. Public participation 2, members of the public may make representations, answer questions and give evidence at a meeting which they are entitled to attend in respect of items not on the agenda. And then I'm going to put a proviso. We're going to delete the last part that was in red. And if we do not have an answer, you can expect a reply within 3 days. And that was the recommendation from the sort of Standing Orders Review Committee.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Happy to propose.
So Councillor Allen proposed, Councillor D'Souza to second. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Right, item 10, events. Consideration and resolution. So events in Attleborough for the year ahead for information. Any comments? Councillor Burton.
Thank you. I'm strongly opposing to proceeding with the Christmas market this year and wish to make it clear that I do not support this event. At the GPNF meeting held on the 15th of December, I raised concerns both on my behalf and on behalf of our residents. In particular, the Christmas Carnival Committee, a long-standing contributor to the town's tradition, was marginalised without clear explanation. This led to significant division within the town, with residents and local businesses bearing the consequences. Local businesses reported a noticeable reduction in take-ins compared to previous years, and some were forced to close earlier than usual. Notably, the Christmas market, traditionally the busiest trading day of the year, saw retailers closing early, highlighting adverse impact of events management. These outcomes reflected a situation that could and should have been handled far more effectively. I recommended that a lessons learned exercise would be undertaken, with those involved acknowledging shortcomings and implementing reasonable measures to ensure that due consideration is given to residents and businesses for future planning. At present, I am not confident that this has been taking place, nor have I seen any evidence to demonstrate that such exercise has been completed. Furthermore, it is very regrettable that some members of this council appear unwilling to take accountability or engage constructively in improving processes. In light of the above, and now learning that this event ran at a loss, I strongly propose that this council does not agree to proceed with this Christmas market this year. And so, off that note, I just want to appreciate and just confirm that there was a little bit of confusion regarding the council's music festival, which obviously I was very, very concerned about. I just want to obviously thank Sharon for eliminating that concern immediately last evening, and hopefully that has now given the reassurances to Adam and his colleagues that we aren't trying to marginalise his committee too.
Can I come in there? Is that the 16th of June one?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've had parents asking me
Absolutely.
what the music festival is, and I'm having to say I know nothing about it.
It was left over from the last calendar.
So we can strip it off and I can tell them there's no such thing. Right.
Councillor Baldwin.
To kind of follow on from Councillor Bertram, really, just to reiterate that I don't feel any of us have been consulted about the Christmas market or Christmas carnival this year. I think it should go back to how it was. I do feel so badly what happened last year with the carnival committee, because I did support the Sunday, I was there helping out. I understand that part of that was because the sports hall was closed for refurbishment. So I can't see any reason why this year we can't go back to what we've always had in town and have the Christmas lights and the carnival back on the Sunday.
The only thing is we have no control of the switching on of the Christmas lights, I'm afraid. It's not a council event. I totally agree with what you're saying, but switching on the lights is not a council event, it's a separate committee. So I agree, it would be lovely if it went back to what it was, but
we just need to work
everyone's
together.
got to
We
work
cannot
together.
have what happened last year.
It was, yes, we need to work together, but what I'm
And
highlighting
it's
is
unfortunate, Councillor Dowd, those involved aren't here tonight to actually explain themselves.
Accountability.
Councillor Dalton.
Can I suggest that we keep it on at the moment, but don't approve it? That we survey all the residents and the party.
I propose that we remove it from the scheduled events.
I'm happy to second.
Councillor D'Souza.
Thank you. Clearly, it's a very emotive and controversial subject, events in the town, and the public have clearly been upset, I would suggest. We don't need to be competing with rival groups, we should just be one. It's not for credit or anyone's personal gain, it should be for the town and for the community. And I think what Councillor Boardman says is wholly applaudable, and we should just be looking at events. I appreciate what you say, Councillor Dale, that we have no control over the light switch on, but to rival an event, it just seems...
It's silly.
Yeah,
yes, it is. I totally agree with you. I'm not against it going back as it was. I think it was wonderful for all the years it was there, but all I'm saying is we aren't in control of the lights. If we can get the light committee to work with.
Yeah, which is why we shouldn't be then trying to have other events.
If there's only one event, then that's the logical
yeah.
The only thing I would say is that the reason, I mean, it's a known fact that the Christmas Carnival had not been contributing to the Christmas lights as they had in latter years. So that was one of the reasons why the Christmas Lights Committee persuaded. The reason why partly was because the Christmas Carnival hadn't been contributing to the Christmas lights, but they had in latter years much earlier. They got into the habit of not giving them. They did give them some money one year. They gave them 1,000, and I believe they've made an offer to contribute for this coming year. However, that was one of the reasons why all of the market proceeds went straight into the Christmas lights. So they did actually get a contribution, which was a factor, because they really are struggling at the moment. If they're not going to get any income from the Christmas Carnival, for instance, then you know that they really have been struggling. Also, they've been struggling because a lot of sponsors are quite disheartened with what's going on in the town, and so therefore they have lost sponsors as well. So they are struggling.
I've been a sponsor for 4 years, and last year I wasn't even approached.
What do you mean?
I've been a contributor and a sponsor for the lights for 4 consecutive years. Last year I wasn't even approached.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, we know why. We know why. You do know why. So had they approached the business that sponsored last year, they probably would have got another sponsor. I certainly would have sponsored them, but I wasn't asked.
Divide and conquer.
Councillor Boardman.
I also think we need to support the market traders, because I spoke to one who was a storeholder on a Saturday, and the rent they were charged was more than they took for the entire day. So you're not going to get the support, and I know what they were charged, and I thought that was quite high, and they took the time to turn up, to merchandise there all day, and they walked away with a loss. We can't have a market town, a Brecon market town, not be supported. So we've got to review how we do it, engage the public, and go full council for these decisions. Because last year it was made without 99% of us even being aware that decision was done.
There was a minute item where it was approved.
There was it was approved for a market, a Christmas market, nothing else.
Yeah.
We agreed to, and I can remember at the time I said it's too close, and I was poo-pooed, but we agreed to a Christmas market only, Christmas stores only, nothing else.
There you go. A bit like the chainsaw to you again.
Councillor Burrows.
One of the reasons I'm led to believe that the Carnival Committee haven't made much money and things like that is because in past years they had free use of this and things like that. And suddenly they were being charged quite steep fees to be able to come in here. That was, I'm not sure if that's correct, but that was one of the reasons they've been struggling to make ends meet. Because where they got things for free use of for the public, for the carnival and everything else, the council, I believe, decided to charge them, and that's quite a lot of money.
Inconsistency of hall hire charges there. With other groups.
We see a lot of that.
Yeah, with other groups at least as well.
Where are we going then?
Well, I'll retract my proposal because I didn't realise Councillor Bircher had already proposed it, but I'll second it. To remove the
proposal?
to remove the Christmas market Yeah.
And we aim to revert back to previous years.
I would like to revert back to previous years, and I do feel that this council will need to approach the Carnival Committee with a towel between their legs and actually apologise profusely for how they treated them last year, and ask them if they come back on the square. I really do feel strongly about it.
Did you want to add anything about reviewing the costs as well for higher costs?
Out of pure principle and courtesy, I do believe that there should be a higher cost for the Carnival this year, just out for more. Yeah.
Councillor Allen.
I don't know if you want to put that to a vote and go to other events, or if you want to take opinions on all.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. We'll take that one in isolation.
Yeah.
I'll say,
You propose. I'll second. All those in favour?
Yes.
Right. So now we'll look at the other items.
Can I go to the SEND event now, please? It's a great idea. It was poorly supported last year, and it did run at a loss of £2,280. And I just do not think it's worth continuing with. Why can we not incorporate SEND needs and requirements to other events and have like a big event with separate, just so everyone can mix together and have a great day together?
Yeah.
Why have we got to section it off? I think it's discrimination more than anything, especially if it's running at a loss. I don't think it's good for the town or the people attending, because it's poorly attended.
It wasn't.
It was.
Even Councillor S. Taylor called it a flop.
Yeah. There were more yellow jerseys.
Councillor S. Taylor called it a flop.
Councillor Boardman.
I actually support what they were trying to achieve. I was there last year and it was poorly supported. I actually helped to clear up at the end, and we cleared up early. And there was a live band there, and they were quite good, but there were 3 people watching that live band, which made that band about £85 a ticket. That's not value for money, and it was not in keeping with what the day was supposed to be. I think if it goes ahead, you need to completely revise the format to get it right. If not, it's just a bit of a disaster.
Bearing
for the
in
town.
mind, it was the first year.
I personally feel
We did, we obviously did look at what worked and what didn't work, and obviously for the children that attended more than anything, and we got a lot of comments back as well. So if it were to go ahead, there would be lessons learned there. I don't think we would have them use it. But we did, we put more emphasis on the quiet rooms and that sort of thing, which were used in the no-no. But I do think give it a chance, because it was very valued by Norfolk County Council. All of these SEND groups were really excited about it, and they said, "Well done, Attleborough Town Council, for daring to put it on," because there is a big event, and it's Norfolk SEND, which is at the showground every year, and that was our effort to do something locally, bearing in mind, SEND people with special needs children and disabilities don't have a great deal of things to do around here, as we know.
I take on board your comments, Sharon. However, this council had an opportunity to do a lessons learned exercise with the Christmas market. That wasn't conducted. The perception is that the main organiser of this SEN event was purely replicating the Party on the Park event and trying to outdo them. That purely is the perception here.
Yeah, it may be the perception.
That clearly is perception. Unfortunately, until the public have confidence that actually this is a separate event and the organisers aren't trying to replicate a traditional event, it's not going to be well supported, because it's been put on with wrong intentions.
In your opinion, is there any merit in getting different councillors to help organise it?
We've tried this, Sharon.
Why not try again?
Look at the Roads Fair. Look at the Roads Fair, which we're going to lead on to in a minute.
Councillor D'Souza.
Thank you. I attended the SEND event last year. I actually met Councillor Allen there, and it's a great idea, but I think it was a tick box exercise. I think it was done to appease people. It was done to say we've done something for SEND children. It was a nightmare as far as I was concerned. I went round with a noise machine to see.
Decibel.
That's it, yeah. There was a band performing which was extremely loud. As far as I'm aware, people with special needs were affected by that noise. We all wore yellow bibs. There was more of us yellow bibs than people there. So I must say, 3 people listening to a band, it was a complete washout. I noticed there was a pig, a hog roast, and most of it was actually still there at the end of it. So that just shows how many people actually ate there. I would suggest we never do it again.
Just quickly, I know that we've obviously got Larry Gray's Fun Fair for 7 days. Can we not incorporate something into that for SEND children?
No.
Bring everyone
I
together.
don't like the noise.
Well, yeah, but can we not reduce a day or a morning for SEND kids? It's just brainstorming. We need to get somewhere and do something different.
If we're going to do something, we need to incorporate it in something else.
Exactly.
So that they're integrated. and
So
feel
we need to have
part
this
of the
discussion.
community.
don't we? Yeah. I mean, it might not be a good idea, but we have to. Just very briefly, I know for the SEND event, there was a £500 donation from Larry Gray. That hasn't come up in any of the finances
No,
since.
that was because they decided that they were going, or we did allow them to give the children free rides.
There wasn't £500 worth of tickets, surely, to that warrant there?
No.
I think there was 600.
I paid for every ride I took my girl on, and there was many people there, honestly.
We
I
were
had
there
nothing to those
giving the
tickets.
tickets out.
No,
So the income
no
was
way.
wrong, because the income is actually minus 500, so that actually needs to come out, because that wasn't contributed, as far as we're concerned.
Councillor Burrows.
So it's even more of a deficit.
Sorry, special needs children don't like lots of noise and
No.
things like that. So a fun fair, in my opinion, is not what they want. That is,
Why can't you
the planning, whoever organised it, they shouldn't have been there. They like quiet
Let
and
Councillor
tea.
Dale.
Yeah.
Councillor Dale.
Sorry, my arm's ache. Why can't we have a Children's Day, which brings in SEND children and their siblings and everybody else, and surely children should get used to mixing with SEND children, so the society mixes.
And nice
so that,
Celebration, yeah.
Much better.
why can't we have a Children's Day, which SEND children are welcome in certain areas for things for them, but as well as they have siblings, a lot of them, that also get left out. So I think if we're looking at something like that, we need to look at a day for children.
Or young parents.
Or anybody at
young
that.
parents.
Yeah.
Councillor Burton.
I'm happy with that proposal, actually, and I'm obviously happy to propose that Vera organises that, as she obviously because of her expertise and her expertise in childcare. Yeah, we can hand the reins over to Vera to organise the child's service.
Can I just make a proposal to suspend standing order? We've got a lady in the audience that I think has had her hand up quite a while and wants to say something. So.
Yeah?
I'm sorry, that was me.
Okay, we just need to vote on it.
Oh yeah, just happy to suspend.
Yeah.
Okay,
Standing
all in favour?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Councillor Allen, that was me that shouted no when you said about the including SEND with the fun fair. I think that was the biggest issue with the SEND thing last year. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I'd be well up for, if you really want to, do it again. We really should do it again, just one more time, just to see if you can get it right. Because the problems with last year was you had music. SEND children do not like loud noises, they do not like bright colours, they do not like fun fairs. If you can dull that down and make it SEND, make it more SEND friendly. Brilliant to have a children's event, but also you still need to remember that SEND children don't cope with big crowds. So if you only make it a children's event and you get lots of children that aren't SEND,
Yeah.
Or an area.
If you get children that are SEN with their siblings, great.
Yeah.
But if you've got 5,000 children that do not have SEN and 100 that do,
Yeah.
then you are you're completely missing the point with that. I am more than happy to help. I will hold my hand up and I will say I will help. Because I think I was so frustrated last year because I think it is a brilliant idea. I know so many children that have SEN. My children are not diagnosed, but if you met them, I'm sure you'd agree. But it was last year really missed the point.
Yeah.
It really did, and I think that is why I don't disagree. It didn't work, but it was never going to work. Yes, Sharon, we did feel a little bit like, with it being with a month before Carnival and Party in the Park, did feel like it was too similar an event.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the other guys would prefer it was a little bit further away if you're going to do the same thing. But I do think the principle behind it and the parents of SEN children, my neighbours have got 4 children, 3 of them are SEN. They go to 3 different schools, they can't go anywhere. They can't go on holiday, they can't go to a festival.
Yeah.
Do something for them if that's what you want to do, but get it right.
I also think the size of the venue may have been a problem as well because it's very.
Too big.
Too big. It was too big.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith.
Yeah, I just want to say, please can we not generalise. My son has Down syndrome. He loves fun fairs and bands, okay? Some children with SEND don't like them, some do. SEND is not a single diagnosis where everyone is the same. Okay? If you're organising something to benefit children with special needs and their parents, the most valuable thing, as well as some nice activities, is signposting to services for parents to assist them. That's the thing we most valued as my son was growing up.
Yeah.
So if you want to organise an event, that's brilliant. But don't do it just to try and make it a party. Do it that it's actually going to benefit the lives of children with SEND and their parents. But please remember, we're not just saying that every child with some level of SEN is the same. They are not. They all have different needs.
But there are events where he can go to that other children who with other difficulties cannot go to. So whereas he might have enjoyed the music and when he was younger he might have enjoyed the fair and the music, but there are children that don't.
One more please.
I fully agree with what Vera was saying about Children's Day because there is obviously people with different needs, different sensory, and I think it would be good to have like children's because there is also a lot of young carers who are looking after siblings with needs of some description and things who are forgotten about as well. And I do think it would be good, like Vera says, to try and mix, to like make other people's children understand that it's okay to have like different uniqueness, superpowers, being slightly different without labelling, like this is this and without that. So even if we had like a children's day, but have like an area where there is more quietness for like some children that prefer the quieter, and try and make like noise counselling screens or something that they could go to so that they feel safe and secure still, but also involves the young carers and children and other disabilities and needs and that, where they can integrate with the community as well, and it will bring the parents some time that they can talk and get the support as well of where to signpost next, talking to other parents about needs and how children need this and that, and bring that community back into Attleborough, what we all need to do to make the community raise the children like it needs to be done. I fully support Vera's, and obviously Funfair is great if there's like some time where they don't play music and things, and have different like speeds and like lights that aren't too invasive. If there's like Lidl's do, they do like 1 hour silence so you can do like shopping for things. Can't we do something like where you involve the fair, but also have it in a time where you know if your child doesn't like noise and movement and all like that, you come at this time, so everyone is being a part of something.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
thank
just some
you.
suggestions going forward.
That's really
for everyone.
useful, thank you. Okay, we'll close the floor again now. Councillor Birchall.
I was actually going to replicate Helen, and I also think it would be a great idea to continue with the Children's Day, include the SEND, and actually work with charities and work with organisations, specialised organisations. You can get carers support, parents support. We've got Benjamin Foundation. We can work with so many charities and so many organisations to actually make this more beneficial.
We need to give it some more detailed thought.
We did to be fair, we did have the Benjamin Foundation and we had some organisations from Northern County Councils, Children's Services.
You had
They had about 4
you had a van as well.
Yeah,
And if we can obviously advertise it a lot better, then
But we need input, so any suggestions?
I'm quite confident now we've had an open and transparent discussion, the public are going to actually be in favour of doing it and want to help us.
Councillor Adams.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Sydney, actually, my granddaughter goes to the school in Old Buckingham for St. Children's. Is it worth actually talking to the school and saying, getting them involved in it and asking them what they suggest?
They were involved.
They were
I think the head
invited.
teacher, Emily Seddon,
Yeah,
would be a good contact
one
for
of
that,
the,
yeah.
actually one of, it was the deputy head actually came along and helped us lay things out, in a better way. I would know how to do that.
Councillor, we'll draw a line under it now.
If Councillor Dale is happy to propose a Children's Day and
Yeah.
incorporate all
lead
of
on it.
this,
Yeah.
I will second it.
We're good advertising.
On the basis that Councillor Dale obviously helped organise it and we include the...
Yeah, you've got to run it.
Yeah, you've got to run it.
And the road's fair.
Yeah, quite.
Go on, Vera.
Piece of cake.
We'll all help.
Yeah, piece of
We're all behind you.
Yeah.
okay.
There you go. Yeah, all very
Are you happy to propose?
Sorry?
Yeah, propose, sir?
Yes.
Children's Day.
Just say yes.
Let's say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favour? Great, thank you.
Now Vera's back in the chair.
I'm actually going to stand up so I can see everybody because I can't. The road's fair. I think I'm not going to do that if I'm doing the other. No, the road's fair is the 800 charter anniversary. We've made a start on that. We've provisionally booked some enactment people, so there'll be things like archery, night school, with the gear. There's going to be an exhibition in the church of models of the church as it was and as it is, and another exhibition there about the church. There's going to be an exhibition in here of town hall and the local history, so people can actually gen up on the town as well. I've inquired about a hog roast, a proper hog roast, a hog roast, whether they can do it or not, but I have inquired. I've been in touch with the schools, I've been in touch with, the Get Players, and my half-term task is to go around and sort of shopkeepers, because I would like them to make shields depicted in their wares, as it were. So there's lots of things going on. I've got the WI are looking at old crafts, so they can demonstrate. And I've got a lady in Buckingham that has a spinning wheel, and I hope she's well enough to come, even if she just comes and does it an hour, because we will have a programme, because everything won't be running all day. We've got Henry VIII coming to read the proclamation. So we've got lots of historical things. Sorry? Which of his wives? Anne Boleyn, I think. So that's I'll be serious. It's a serious thing. So anybody that has any talents or anything. As I said, the WI, it's their 90th anniversary, so they're going to do some historical things. I've got Bowling for the Pig, that's made. You know, and anything else that you feel, it's in the town hall, in the square, and in the churchyard. We're having circular tents put up in here, not in here, in Queen Square. I should write it all down like Councillor Burton does, but I don't.
Maybe
you're scribe.
Yeah.
Who's going in the stocks?
Sorry?
Who's going in the stocks?
We're having a gibbet. I don't know who's hanging on the gibbet, but I'm not volunteering for that. But there will be lots of things. We haven't finalised anything yet. We've spent some money, earmarked some money for the enactment, but we haven't earmarked it all, because if you're asking people to come and do things, you've got to offer them out-of-pocket expenses. So until we know what that's going to cost us, and then if we've got money left over, we're going to hire a load more. You know, people walking around the I'd like everyone that came to dress up, but none of you will. I'd like shopkeepers to dress up. You know, so it's actually a real good day. We want to advertise it everywhere. We've got, I'm talking to Domino's about free parking. We've got free parking at here. There's no time limit on Queen Square that day. You can come and stay as long as you want. Anyone that gets a ticket comes to me. Sorry?
Operate?
Yeah, we've got that. Yeah, but I hope we've got that. We've made inquiries. But they can't fly the birds, but they can display it in the churchyard, you know, so that they're that. And lots of other things that come up. I'm open for all suggestions.
Can you hold more sponsors?
Yeah, we've got those in. Yeah. You know, we're open for any suggestions whatsoever that will tone in with the day.
My nephew runs Attleborough, would that be
Oh,
something?
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to him, but I just
Yeah, anything. We've got the archery is in the churchyard up by the griffin, so it's very safe, so you can walk around. So, you know, these are the things I've been looking at. And so if anyone's got any suggestions, email me, or ring me, or do anything. I'm happy, I'm very open for suggestions, and the more people that are involved, the better it'll be.
Anyone else got anything to add on that?
I really just want to emphasise the commitment and dedication that Councillor Dow has put into this is just absolutely remarkable.
I'll second that, but what I was
Always nice.
what I was actually going to ask though was, can we have a sort of an update on what we've actually agreed? Because
I said earlier, like a live document, so we can update
Yes.
every time something new comes in.
We can do that. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, moving on.
Fantastic.
Item 11, committees, to appoint councillor boardmen to committees.
Can I just ask, is that just specifically for Councillor Borbler, or is that open for the other councillors to go on?
Where are we at with committee membership? What vacancies have we got?
Well,
Can we propose to amend?
I didn't know whether you had any suggestions or whatever, but I think that we're okay with vacancies, but obviously it would be nice if you did want to remove certain.
Well, there's a vacancy on the open spaces to be replaced,
Oh yes,
Mr. Reynolds.
yeah, that's true, yeah.
There's one on there, it's the same on the planning and for highways. I would love to go on the standing orders committee,
Okay,
as would Councillor Adams, and also for the general purposes and finance. And I'd like to second Councillor Allen to join that one as well.
Which one? General purposes?
General purpose of
Yeah. Both myself and Councillor Allen on that one. So I think it's due a major update. I think that's going to be a lot of work.
What, on general purposes?
Yes.
So Councillor Allen and yourself?
Yes.
You'll have 11 on there.
Yeah, I can give you a copy.
It says minimum of 5, doesn't it? Is there a maximum? There's not a maximum.
As replacement, one of the highways, as replacement, on the standing orders, committee has I'm really happy to commit. Yeah. So I can send you that by email.
Yeah, okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Do we need to vote that on?
Yeah, just vote the changes and then I'll update.
Okay. Can I have a proposal to vote on those changes then? Councillor Adams? Councillor Dale to second. All those in favour?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Councillors' reports, item 12.
I've just uploaded them to the papers for the district councillors.
Sorry, I'll let you speak first.
That's okay, that's all I was going to say.
Oh.
Yeah, Councillor.
Yeah, I've just got some bits to say. Obviously, I just want to provide some accuracy. Recent weeks I've had many accusations made against me following emails sent to me. Of late, to both myself and Councillor Allen, copied to the full council alleging that I have broken many of the known principles, council policy, and engaged in bullying and disrespectful behaviours to the clerk and colleague. I want to be absolutely clear, I reject these allegations. Neither the clerk or councillors have any authority to accuse me of breaching known principles. The responsibility of such matters rests with the monitoring officer, and his determination will be following the completion of a forensic investigation. Expressing concerns, asking questions and holding those in public office to account does not contribute to bullying, nor is it a breach of known principles. Freedom of speech, particularly when it's grounded in facts, public conduct and matters already in public domain is democratic life, it's not bullying. Challenge of behaviour is not the same as harassing behaviour, and no matter inconvenient that distinction may be for some. I also note the continued tone and content of correspondence directed to me, repeated accusations, unsolicited judgments and attempt to discredit my character. Then itself is deeply concerning. I am entitled to carry out my role. I'm entitled to speak publicly without subject to intimidation, misrepresentation or criticism. So to be clear once more, I have not broken any known principles. I have not bullied or disrespected anyone, and I will not be silenced with unfounded allegations for completing my role. Thank you.
Is that a matter for the personnel committee?
Yeah.
Not for this. This is report for council.
Yeah. We're holding the personnel committee meeting on Thursday evening, so I think those points will warrant discussion at that time. Councillor Allen.
I haven't got a long statement, don't worry. I just want to say I attended the council surgery Saturday, which was organised by our Brecton councillors, which was well attended by the councillors. Unfortunately, not many members of the public came, but I thought it was a good event. I was very disappointed to see that our county councillor, Roger Oliver, did not attend. I can't remember the last time he was in the town, so as a result I have called for his resignation, and I do urge fellow councillors to do the same.
Okay. Anybody else?
Can I just say, last one we had 0 members of the public. This time we had 6 or 7, which was a big increase. So don't be disappointed, it might go up each time.
Okay. Right. Item 13 then, the clerk's report.
Before I go into the clerk's report, I would just like to give a brief response to Councillor Bircham. You have just broken the,
Oh, has he? Smash a window.
Silence, please. Let the clerk speak.
The member officer protocol does actually, although you might call it free speech, there is a time and a place where you need to address personnel issues, and that is the personnel committee via personnel meetings. To make a statement about the officer of the council.
I didn't
He didn't.
I didn't, Sharon.
He didn't.
He didn't.
He said he'd been accused, didn't say goodbye.
No.
But why did you mention that? Why did you say to people and cite an email that you'd received?
Who sent me the email? I didn't say who sent me the email, I said I received an email.
Well, but then you must. Who did you receive that email from?
Well, no, because he's
Well,
not
I'm not
going
going
to
to
be
repeat
saying.
that, am I? I'm not going to repeat that.
Don't back him into a corner, Sharon.
I'm saying.
I did not
in the member
cite
officer
who just sent me that email.
Point of time, please.
You were accused, you say.
By who, Sharon?
Well,
There's a difference between councillor and staff. I didn't mention any. I'm fully aware. Thank you.
Keep digging.
was the clerk mentioned in your statement?
No, I don't think
No, it wasn't.
Because I am aware that there are some Facebook posts as well.
And comments from you as well.
From me,
Yes, from you.
yeah, and in defence of myself.
No inappropriateness.
So it's okay for councillors to denigrate staff, but not okay for staff to defend themselves.
So you admit you have done it?
There's a post. There's a post at the post. I've defended myself where accusations had been made.
And you have every right to.
Yeah. So,
Free speech,
yeah,
accountability,
Yeah.
transparency.
yeah. And what I'm saying is, in this medium, that wasn't even the correct item to be broaching that, because you're supposed to be reporting on what you've actually done for the council.
Is how people do that.
So really, what I'm saying is, we've got an agenda item on personnel, and we can perhaps broach that then.
No, there'll be conflict of interest in that.
What do you mean?
Because you'll be in the personnel meeting. So how can we do that?
You'll have a
I would be leaving on that particular item. So no, it wouldn't, and it is the correct medium, is it not, Vera?
It is.
We have, nobody's introduced you, have they, Harry? Which I think is a bit mean. We've got now a deputy clerk who can take over some of the
contentious things.
Yes. So that's if he comes back and doesn't resign after tonight.
I just want to say there is clear double standards, because you sat here addressing this, but many councillors have sat here and been very inappropriate at this table, and not once have any of them been challenged.
Yeah.
Double standards. And that speaks to concern itself.
Yeah.
Well, if you have got any concerns, you've got to be specific, you've got to give examples.
You don't need to
Words are
patronise me,
words.
Sharon.
Words are
You
words.
don't need to condescend me at this table.
But you would be expected to give evidence and cite examples.
I've got plenty of evidence.
Well then, bring them along at the personnel committee.
You don't need to condescend me, Sharon.
It's not being condescending.
I don't feel as if I have
Any
been.
accusation needs to be evidence. That's only fair.
I've got plenty.
What's the video?
Okay, that's fine.
Absolutely. There's these videos are on YouTube. Watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much double standards going around this table.
Then,
January.
then you need to cite the examples in the right medium,
And you need to be non-biased.
in your opinion.
You want to go on, do you, Sharon?
Sorry, can we not do this in public?
I'm defending myself.
You are very
Can we draw a line under this, please? It's inappropriate.
very unprofessional out in a councillor.
You anything else for that? You report?
Right. The council has welcomed Councillor Boardman and also a full-time deputy clerk, Harry Clark. The council held an extraordinary meeting on the 29th of January to discuss the two smaller car parks and to select an option to acquire these alongside Green Square. It was decided to just opt for option 2 with no fallback position. This is regarding the the 2 car parks. The clerk and deputy clerk will work with councillor Boardman to prepare a draft report as part of the condition in option 2 to justify the economic, environmental and social benefits of acquiring the car parks at nil value according to section 123 of the Local Government Act 1972, General Disposal Consent Order 2003. The council wishes to actively seek a formal crossing at Grovescroft School. Highways have been contacted. The council needs to now send in further information on possible locations and what they require from the feasibility study in order to progress the application. However, in the Planning and Highways Committee just held, they actually would like to bring in the highways engineer and the police to a site meeting. The neighbourhood plan draft review document has been sent to all steering committee members, group members with a deadline of the 6th of February. Once any final amendments have been agreed, the document is ready to go out to residents and groups for their views, mid to late February. General Purposes and Finance Committee. The Rogues Market meeting took place on Saturday the 10th of January. It was well attended. The council agreed to set a budget of 15,000. An order has now been placed for 8,700. I won't go into, because obviously Vera's gone into all of that, but I have detailed it. Open Spaces Committee. The committee has begun to progress groundworks and site improvements at the below sites. Quotes and works are in progress and will come to the next committee meetings for agreement, albeit hopefully we'll get the quotes in. London Road Play Area, there'll be a new gate. Gamers, resurfacing and replanting fruit trees. The tree inspection report was double checked to ensure the trees have been inspected and they were deemed as low risk. Blackthorn Road, trim trail, tender process and groundworks to entrances is being progressed. There is a tight deadline to have finished the project by the end of September. Recreation ground, the start of works to investigate a new toilet block on Gamers is being progressed. Norfolk Drive, groundworks for a tarmac path which will lead to a picnic bench that's already in place, that's being progressed. Grosvenor allotments, quotes for a new gate are being sourced to prevent intruders to the site. We may have to do some reparations to the fence. Members of the Allotment Association will be encouraged via an amendment to the tenancy agreement to actually join up to the National Allotment Association. Jubilee Woodland, the site visit has encouraged councillors and new volunteers. A new site visit has been arranged for the 21st of February, followed by a public engagement event at the Town Hall. Individuals and groups are encouraged to get involved. Councillor Middlebrook has further developed a plan layout which will be viewed at the public engagement for comments. The vehicular access to the site is still to be checked. We haven't had any response from Hill to see whether they will confirm that there are no constraints to parking and access. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Right, moving on to item 14, the approved contractors, review of the current list of approved contractors for acceptance and approval. Councillor Burton.
I also want to ask, obviously the purpose of maintaining the approved contractors list requires clarification. Specifically, what criteria is applied for inclusion of this list, and how are people even on the list now, and how is the criteria assessed? As it currently stands, the arrangement gives rise of concern regarding transparency, diversity and perception of preferential treatment of the list. So obviously we just need to get a bit of clarity on A, the criteria, and B, who judges that criteria. And why can't we just follow the actual tendering process and put the work out and obtain 3 quotes? Why do we need the list?
There was an original list in January 25 that was approved. It was a shorter list because we hadn't embarked on all of the project work, and this is just an extended list made up of companies that we've either used or that I've put some others in there because I have used them and they're very good companies. That is basically the criteria. So it's companies that we rate. I wouldn't put companies on there that I didn't rate, that didn't do a very good job.
But then also you've got the gentleman in public gallery who's already raised concerns that obviously his own business is not on the list. So how are other businesses included? Why do we even have a list? Why can't we just offer
I
it
was
out
instructed to make that list in January 25, and you were on the council.
Yes, and we can obviously.
We did. The council approved that list. They actually asked me to construct it. I think the problem was just
January 25. That's over a year ago, and obviously lots happened with the public and confidence. So I think we need to tighten up a lot of these policies and support businesses and local businesses and contractors.
There should be limits on, if you've got an approved list of contractors, you don't want to be tendering every tiddly squat job. So, but obviously jobs of significance and high value need to be tendered.
And last, I was going to propose that we can suspend standing orders to allow the gentleman who originally wanted to speak on this agenda item to speak.
Yeah, good idea.
You propose that?
Andy,
Yes, please.
Andy, before you do, can I chip in?
Sorry,
basically, I'm still in agreement with a list, but I would prefer it that we then put out to the public to give the opportunity for other people to put themselves forward.
Okay, so
but if we want to suspend.
There are lots of rules and regulations about approved lists. Contractors must typically provide evidence of health and safety compliance, Health and Safety at Work Act, including risk assessments, method statements, insurances are valid and everything else. Financial standings, they should do credit checks on them to make sure everything's all okay. Contracts have a code of conduct, or should do, about their IDs and everything else so people can do it. There is a lot, you should not just approve it, so they should be able to prove or show you their health and safety policy, how they do risk assessments, things like that. Before, you can't just say,
if they have
I'm sure Sharon does it, insurance, has to be minimum 5 million, public liability insurance they have to have. There's lots of things, and I think before we draw up that list, we should make sure that all the contractors, we get a list of criteria which is available online that they should have, and before we present the list, they should be able to provide documentation to say that they're all okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to suspend?
You have to propose that? Councillor Susan, second, all in favour? Okay, yes please.
Thank you. Just to be clear and transparent, I haven't put my name forward before today, and I do follow the Facebook. I don't know how to frame it, but I follow, and it brought me to just want to add something. I didn't want to get into a Facebook debate, but I have already won a contract for Norfolk County Council, and regarding the 3 quotes, I, alongside 3 other companies, have won that tender because we've already laid out our prices beforehand. I've worked in Attleborough since 2018. I look after a lot of local landlords. All the local estate agents know me. And I am interested to put my name forward. And the reason I commented on Facebook, not that I like to often, was to clarify, if you get the 3 contractors, whether there's 3 decorators, the fact that you've already set the terms, you don't need to go through that process, so things can move a lot quicker, because I've witnessed today, some things fly through, other things can take an eternity and get pushed down the road. In regards to what the gentleman here said, I concur with what you're saying. A little sell for me, regarding, we do all areas of maintenance. Window repairs is my passion. I trained by the same company that did Elizabeth Tower, Big Ben, as most people know it. So I think I can put my pennyworth worth and say that I meet a standard, but a standard should be a little bit more transparent. And forgive me if the list I saw on Facebook isn't the real list, but I've spoken to 2 contractors I've worked on many projects with. One, wasn't aware that he was put forward, but I can stand by that he is a good contractor. So I personally, for what it's worth, would stand by. And another contractor's retired that's on the list, which is, I don't want to get into the semantics of punctuation and highlighting because that's not my forte, but I am good at solving problems, and I think, yeah, I could be of use to you guys. So that's my pitch, and yeah, still learning the process. Thank you. There we go.
Come and see us and we'll see what we can do.
No worries.
Anybody else got anything to add?
I'd like the proposal to defer so that we can put out to the members of the public to put their names forward and provide us. But I will also go that with Councillor Burrows, that we have a combined list of what we want to cover and what insurances and the rest of it.
So we look to start it again from scratch.
Yes. Could I make a suggestion? We look at the list and refresh it, like the gentleman says. If someone's retired, no longer working, no longer in business, and then we can get fresh contractors as well. You know, preferably local, so we keep it local. And just keep that list.
We can put an advert out for expressions of interest.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you going to propose we defer?
I'll propose we defer.
I'll second that we defer.
Go to the public.
All those in favour?
Unanimous.
Unanimous, thank you. Okay, item 15, public participation number 2. Yes, please.
Yes. Can I just say, this is the second meeting I've been to where a certain fraction of the council hasn't been in attendance, and the actual meeting has been productive, done in good humour, respectfulness, and it more than highlights the toxic attitude of certain people in this council. Having said that, it's lovely to actually see you chair the meeting instead of having a petulant child trying to steer you down a route. It's nice to hear your views. Talking about Daniel, I brought up 2-3 times about his harassment from this council. Again, they're not here. And I can't see, after the vexatious emails, may I just add, that he's been receiving, why him telling the truth is looked upon as a break of Nolan principles, but a convicted vandal is still sitting on the council. Now, if you can't get him to stand down out of decency, which he doesn't have, I don't see how you can harass and bully Daniel into standing down when he's actually putting the townsfolk and not his own ego first. And lastly, while we're whittering, so we pick you up on the hot mic, I hope, Harry, thank you, Harry, for joining. I hope you know what shit show you've let yourself in. And I hope that you are impartial, because the one we got in a minute is not. Thank you.
In your opinion?
In my opinion, and most of the people sat here.
You don't make up the whole town then?
No.
Mrs. Smith.
The people that don't drink in the town.
Yeah, it's a query to Vera. You said at your Rhodes Fair,
Yes.
Henry VIII.
Yes.
Henry VIII wasn't 800
No,
years ago.
no, what
Henry
we're
III.
doing, I should have maybe actually clarified it a bit more. We can't do a whole day on 800 years ago because we haven't got that much information. So what I should have said is the Rogues Fair going through.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Story through the
Is that
ages.
okay?
Henry VIII was about 500 years ago, and Henry III was
Yeah, no, that, well, I can't do 800 years ago, I'm not that old. So that's what we're trying to do, is involve what has happened since the charter signing. Sorry, I should have made myself clearer.
One of the little points, and it's just a query on abstentions. I've noticed we occasionally get people, councillors, abstaining and wrong. Now, in my mind, you're either in favour of the vote or you're against the vote. But we see that. I think we had 2 tonight from Councillor Dalton. where it's just, it feels as though it's a fudge, and it feels as though I'm not going to commit to going against, but I'm not in favour. Is there any form of clarification within your own documentation or within rules of town councils on what is a valid abstention? Because I'd hate to think people are doing it just to fudge because they're not confident enough to vote for or against. And I do appreciate it when councillors commit to voting for or against the motion rather than just abstaining.
Councillor Dole, do you know?
I just want to give a quick response to that. If I find some of the elements of the other councillors' choice of how they want to vote and stuff like that, then I will take that into account. If I am totally against it, then I will say that I'm against something. Whereas if there's good valid points both ways, I will abstain.
Yes, please.
Can I ask the question why you didn't get questioned why you abstained, and yet Councillor Allen did about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Good point.
Actually,
Real good point.
We all know we got questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't see the weasel out.
This is really rude.
And there's a young lady. One behind, sorry.
Really?
Yeah, let's leave the name calling.
Are you answering?
Name calling is. Do you want to give a
Yes, please, Leslie.
No, I think.
Jubilee Wood.
Yes.
A while ago you had a meeting after the road fair meeting, I believe it was, and we were told there would be information put out about what was discussed. Have we got that? Can we have a copy of that?
I only did the notes on Friday,
Oh, okay.
and I haven't managed to distribute them yet.
Because I want
They
to see
are-
whether something that I thought of is on there, because if it is, I won't suggest it, but if it isn't, I'll
Yeah,
suggest it.
they will be published. Yeah, it's just that I haven't got round to it yet.
This week.
I can probably do it tomorrow.
Thank
Right,
you.
okay. Yes, please.
With the contracts, going back to that, I know that other councils, including Norfolk County Council, have a very detailed contract with contractors. I know that I've seen one or two myself here, they don't have much detail whatsoever, no terms, no detail on pay, etc., which pretty much doesn't really form a contract. Is that something that we think should be looked into and have a bit more detail for legal facts?
We'll look at the whole aspect of approved contractors list in more detail.
Council if you want, but it took me a while because I am dyslexic, but it's 67 pages, conditions.
And I know that we can have like a one pager for others here, so very different.
No, we need to keep it as simple as possible, but
legally it's protection for both parties.
absolutely, yeah. Anyone else? Yes, please.
Is Jubilee Wood dog friendly, or going to be dog friendly?
Yes.
Yes.
It's about horse friendly, but dog friendly.
Yes, please.
Peter Neal, two items, Chairman, please, if I may. The first one, I may have misheard, but the first one, Councillor Allen mentioned the situation of Rodri Oliver and suggested that he was asking for his resignation. Could we clarify, was that for just the county council, or was that for the Brecon council as well, please, Chairman? Through the chair.
Can I come back?
Yeah.
Well, as he lives and works in London, I would say both.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you. And my second item this evening, it's fantastic to hear Councillor Dale in her good old days term addressing us all in the way that she did on, and her passion for what's going on with the events and bits and pieces. Fantastic, thank you.
Yeah.
What I'd like to just say is a little bit of history here, very quickly. It was in years of old, when nights were bold, the Christmas lights, I believe, always were lit on the 1st of December, on irrespective to what day of the week I believe that fell upon. As the town grew, in 2002, the 1st of December was a Sunday, and the lights were put, the Christmas lights were all put on. It was a nice day, weather-wise, and it attracted a vast quantity of people to the town. it was suddenly realised upon that, wow, we've got all these people up here on a Sunday. A Sunday must be the best day to put the lights on and attract other things to build round it. Other groups then built other things to make that a fantastic day of the Christmas carnival, of the Santa Claus hut, bits and pieces throughout the town, and then everywhere the churches all had a little something in the centre of the town, and it drew the people, and many shopkeepers opened that day to make it a really good day for the parishioners of this town and the locality. Please keep that going.
Yeah.
Please, Peter. Thank you.
Last one, quick one.
Yes, Mrs. Smith.
One on microphones. Some of you quite quiet, difficult to hear tonight.
They couldn't get them to work.
Oh, okay.
But could we ask the councillors to talk more clearly?
Can we not get the microphones to work?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but if they're not
Actually, that's
working,
on the contract.
yeah, but if they're not working, can the councillors talk more clearly?
Okay.
Thank you.
Issues lady at the back.
I just wanted to quickly thank all the councillors who are being so supportive of the town, and in particular the businesses who I know suffered quite largely, as Leslie will testify, from the Sunday last year.
We took about a third what we took other years, and I shut early.
Yeah, I really do think that it's important that our town council support our local businesses as much as possible. Looking at the finance payments, there are a lot of not local businesses who are not being supported. And I don't see any reason, for example, why we should go elsewhere for appliances. We've got My Hills in the town as one example. So it was just a general thank you for all the support of the businesses, and hopefully you can do the same when you're updating the contractors list, because I do feel very strongly about that, that businesses should be given an opportunity, even if you're not spending a fortune. I think just the courtesy of going out to local businesses and asking them for quotes is really important, just to help them keep going, and just the support is appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public gallery? Yes, please. Go.
Just one positive one to finish on. I just want to thank the Town Council for organising the two topic sessions 2 Saturdays ago. One was for the Rose Fair and the other one was for the Jubilee Woodland. Very informative, really well run. The only trouble is very few of the public turned up and very few of the councillors turned up for it. There's been lots of good ideas for the Christmas Carnival here tonight. So obviously there's a lot of ideas coming from the floor. Perhaps a public meeting being called to match what we've already done for the other two, and hopefully people will turn up and share their ideas, and hopefully help to organise and pull together for the town, because at the moment we seem to be a bit disjointed. With the help from the floor, it'd be very good, and from the public, because I'm a bit frightened that Vera's going to end up carrying the weight of this function on her own shoulders. But we'll be there to help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. One last take.
Sorry, just a quick question. Since the public toilets have been card friendly and that, it would be interesting to know what you have recovered in card payments, and when is the cash side for vulnerable people and the disabled key going to be available for the public toilets as well, so there's vulnerable people and disabled people that can access them without doing the card payments or things like that. That includes students as well, who's maybe not old enough to have card payments as well, and it'd be interesting to know how much you have in your accounts, how much you have recruit or something, sorry, apologies on the wrong word, that you've gained back since opening them up again as well, please.
That's what we can do.
Yeah, I mean, if the council wants me to investigate and put in the disabled key, I think that was discussed, wasn't it, at the GP&F? And I think that they didn't instruct me to get a radar key put in.
No, you weren't instructed to put radar key in.
So I don't really know, is that something you want me to put on the agenda?
Something, yes, we need to look at, yes. Trouble is, you can buy radar keys on the net, so anyone can have a radar key. So it doesn't defeat the object, because we need a radar key for people who are genuinely disabled. But the idea of doing what we did with the toilets was to stop the disgusting vandalism that went on there. And it has, since people have had to pay. You haven't had the kids and that in there, but it doesn't help people with disabilities. It doesn't help youngsters at school if they haven't got a card. So if we're looking at the whole community, it's something we maybe need to investigate.
Thank you, Vera, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody got any items for the next agenda?
Yes, could I please have the Chambers Cafe review on there, but specifically the time they're under Attleborough Town Council. The rationale for this is due to concerns of the management of the joint initiative between Brecon and Attleborough. It's important to address the result for the end of the financial year.
Chambers Cafe is no longer part of Town Council?
No, but as I said, during the time that they were under Attleborough Town Council.
Yeah, and what do you want
on the agenda, so we can then discuss the time that they're under Attleborough Town Council. It's important to address and resolve the concerns before the end of the financial year.
Okay, anybody else?
That this council commissions an independent financial governance review in accordance with the Accounts and Audit Regulations 2015 to examine the council's financial management and controls with specific focus on budget overspends, grants funding and procurement and contracts.
Yes.
When you say that, we do have an independent...
Not specifically focusing on budget overspends, grants funding and procurement and contracts.
That all should be incorporated in the internal audit and the external audit, which is all independent.
It hasn't been.
I don't believe it has been.
It hasn't been. There's no evidence to suggest it has been.
I think that's what you pay them for.
But how much did you say that's going to cost?
Well,
they're not going to audit all of that.
No, not for that time.
£175.
I would also like this review, but obviously this is on the agenda, to specifically focus on the financial years 23-24, 24-25, and again 25-26. Well, I don't know, it's not very independent. I mean, that's the yourself and Harrison side, there's quite a lot of independent stuff. But that's, I mean, it has to go to council first, of course. Yeah.
You want, sorry, can I go to you want an audit on special items, do you? Have you got a list of the I don't want to say it, but so can you give the rest of the councillors some guide, please, so that we know what you're talking about, and then we can have an independent, I agree, we want an independent audit, we should have one of your concerns. And then that will prove whether you're right or whether you're wrong, or whether it's not, or whether it's settled. So I think we need, okay, and then I think we can then an auditor. Yeah? Before the
Right,